other person who's in the news this week as an obvious contender for the nomination is Gavin Newsom, who went on Sean Ryan's podcast and absolutely dissembled over the question of transition procedures and surgeries on minors as young as...
Gavin Newsom is the type of politician who thinks leadership hinges on how much hair product he can pile into a single day. To him, California isn't a state. It's a stage where he plays America's flashiest governor. But Megyn Kelly's had enough of the charade. She rips into the glossy facade, revealing a man who treats crises like fashion statements and incompetence like a signature style. Newsom talks like a prophet, but Kelly exposes him as a slick salesman peddling a product that crumbles the second you use it.
So he went from people who liked Gavin Newsom, liberals, saying, I have a very favorable opinion of him, at 46%, fell to 30%. So Charlie's correct. He's hurting himself with his liberal base by doing these interviews of people like Charlie and Steve and Michael Savage. It's because the thing about Gavin Newsom is he's not very good at pushing back. So he's not going in there and doing battle with the Charlies and the Bannons of the world. He's somewhat obsequious.
Kelly doesn't just scratch the surface. She plunges into the contradiction that defines Gavin Newsom. He struts as a progressive messiah while overseeing one of the largest outflows of citizens and businesses in modern U.S. history. Silicon Valley tycoons, middle-class households, even small-town shops. They're fleeing California like it's a sinking vessel. Why? Under Newsom's so-called stewardship, taxes soar, regulations choke, and quality of life tanks. Kelly sketches a governor who couldn't manage a lemonade stand, let alone the world's fifth largest economy.
It's over the last few years. I'm trying to understand as much as anyone else. Pronoun thing. Trying to understand all of that. Well, that was like, all that stuff. I get it.
Oh my God. First of all, his hands are flailing. He gets so nervous and he can't stop moving his hands. Right? It's to tell I'm uncomfortable and I'm probably lying too. Hands above the midline moving can be.
If you're digging this, hit subscribe and ring the bell. Then there's his fixation on appearances. Newsom doesn't govern, he poses. Picture him amid a wildfire, smoke thick in the air, yet pausing to nail the perfect camera angle. Kelly tears into that vanity, noting while Californians fight to keep lights on and streets safe, their governor buffs his image for a White House run he pretends isn't brewing. He claims devotion to California, but Kelly calls it out. He's rehearsing for a national spotlight, using his state's turmoil as a launchpad.
37% said that the snippets harmed their perception of the governor. So in other words, 26% overall said it harmed their perception of him. And among liberals, 37% said it harmed my perception of the governor. Among those who have very favorable opinions of Gavin Newsom, he lost.
She reminds us this isn't mere mismanagement, it's hypocrisy. Newsom tells Californians to mask up, lock down, and sacrifice for the collective good, then slips off to an elite restaurant during peak restrictions. The infamous French Laundry scandal wasn't a fluke. It was a peek into his true self. To him, rules bind others. California's his kingdom, and he's the polished prince enjoying luxuries while his people struggle. Kelly dissects this duplicity with surgical accuracy, stressing leadership means setting an example, not dictating from above.
Smart to start this. And the reason he's smart to start it is because he has no muscles, Emily. None. He's a sinewy little weakling when it comes to arguing any of these issues, especially cultural issues, because he, like all liberals, has never had to do it. So now he's trying to get his training, which is smart on his part, and it would be smart on the part of conservatives to say no, because they declined to help him get in shape before the big bout. We're supposed to be helping Rocky, not Drago.
Supposedly aiding the underdog, not the heavyweight. Kelly doesn't stop there. She digs into how Newsom wields progressive buzzwords while ignoring crises ravaging California's communities. Homelessness has surged under his watch. Tent cities sprawl where neighborhoods once thrived. streets bristle with needles, crime runs wild. Residents live in dread. His response? Toss money like confetti at a parade, then strike poses to prove his concern. Kelly unveils the truth. His fixes are pure theater, costly distractions masking zero progress.
Come on, man. I mean, I get it. Those are legit, period. The issue of age, and, you know, as someone who's been so focused on LGBT and gay marriage, you know, the trans thing, I just like, I've been thinking about the pronouns. Yeah. That's how he answered that question, Rich. Are you okay with surgical procedures on an 8-year-old?
When faced with failure, Newsom doesn't own it. He deflects. Kelly calls him out for masterful blame shifting, pointing fingers at Republicans, Washington, climate change, anything but himself. Every leader hits obstacles, but Newsom's turned excuses into an art. Wildfires, climate shifts, businesses bolting, greedy corporations, housing woes, national trends. Nothing's his fault in his world, where he's the misunderstood genius thwarted by external forces. Kelly smashes this narrative, insisting leaders can't dodge accountability. If you can't handle the heat, don't take the role. And the arrogance? Newsom preens on TV with the smugness of a presidential hopeful, which, Kelly notes, he is. He plays coy, but his whole act aims to be the Democrats' backup plan.
Very strange, because when you listen to him, you would think like he's a moderate, but he's not. On the trans stuff and virtually every other subject, he is as radical as they come. He is another Kamala Harris, but there's something about him. Maybe he's a people pleaser, a vintage politician. When he gets across from these are our war fighters. And truly, like the three I mentioned, these are.
He knows President Trump's steering with strength and the Democratic lineup is thin, so he casts himself as the polished alternative, the magazine cover guy. But Kelly dismantles that dream, arguing America needs results, not another pretty face. She's a pro at slicing through political fluff, and Newsom's overflowing with it. His speeches drip with trendy terms and vague promises that sound bold but deliver nothing concrete. He raves about equity, transformation, bold vision, yet California gets higher taxes, broken vows, and more U-Hauls. Kelly drives it home. Leadership is outcomes, not talk. And Newsom's outcomes are a disaster. Her takedown stings because she doesn't just flag his flops. She makes him look absurd. Wildfires rage? Time for a heroic shot. Homeless camps grow? Cue a compassion speech.
What you have in California is these mealy-mouthed, kale-eating, broccoli-pushing, Birkenstock, whatever, wearing politicians can't find another person fast enough to blame. My absolute favorite, though, is the fire chief. She's growing on me. When she's not focusing on her lesbianism, she's actually quite fierce. She is not going down without bringing Mayor Karen Bass with her. And who could blame her?
Businesses collapse, unveil a flashy plan with no results. Newsom rules like politics is a play, and Kelly yanks the curtain to reveal the backstage chaos. While he polishes his national brand, his citizens vote with their feet. Kelly emphasizes California's exodus isn't just data, it's a judgment. Families, workers, entrepreneurs have lost faith, seeing through the gloss and platitudes. She ensures the nation sees it too, as Newsom's higher ambitions trail a shadow he can't escape. He built his name as the room's smoothest player, smiling through crumbling walls while convincing half the crowd it's all intentional. Kelly wasn't letting that slide. She tore into his curated image, showing he's not a leader, but an actor flubbing the governor role, yet holding on to it.
He would be so measured, and you're going to have that flailer with hands and the stuttering. Come on, man. Pulling to Joe Biden. Come on, man. It didn't work for Biden, and it's not going to work for Newsom. Like, I'm just seeing the runway of how the Republicans' chances are going to look. And right now I'm feeling good. Not necessarily about the midterms, but about the presidential race. Here's another thing. It's a little off point on the trans issue, but a great moment where Sean asked Gavin Newsom about why they were so able to very quickly clean up the city of San Francisco when Chinese President Xi Jinping came in 2020.
California under Newsom is America's biggest paradox. The land of dreams morphed into a realm of tents, syringes, and shuttered shops. Megyn Kelly knows why. He's more focused on strutting nationally than dousing fires in his own yard. He parades like he's destined for bigger offices, but can't manage his current one, bragging about a marathon while tripping at his doorstep. Kelly swiftly drags him for his appearance obsession. Everything screams image control, from hair slicked like motor oil to rehearsed sound bites, saying nothing. He's a glossy magazine cover, appealing outside, empty within. Kelly's roast cuts deep, noting California needs a fixer, not a model. And Newsom performs, not manages. Take homelessness. Billions spent yearly, yet tents outpace campaign flyers. Kelly hammers this. Newsom uses it to virtue signal, not solve, cutting ribbons and walking away as misery doubles. It's not governance, it's a show.
I was so annoyed after, we ended our show on Thursday, was it? I don't know. Was it Thursday or Friday? About what's happening with the biological males out there. And this A.B. Fernandez, who is winning all the girls' medals, Hernandez. And I just did like a personal plea to people and got a lot of great feedback on it. So thank you for watching that. But then I took it to Twitter and on X, I addressed Gavin Newsom personally. He follows me, so I tagged him. And I'm going to be honest, I begged him to please stop this for all the reasons stated on our YouTube feed. And he didn't get back to me. But
then the economy. Businesses aren't just leaving. They're racing out like escaping a storm. Tesla, Oracle, Hewlett-Packard. Giants ditching the Golden State for elsewhere. Kelly rips into Newsom's feigned shock, as if soaring taxes, stifling rules, and crime-ridden downtowns haven't been waving warnings. She paints him as a clueless landlord hiking rent, ignoring rot, then stunned when tenants flee. But Kelly's sharpest jab shreds his hypocrisy. Newsom locked down California hard. Schools closed, businesses shuttered, families strained. Yet was caught maskless at French Laundry, sipping luxury like rules don't touch him. Kelly brands it arrogance and contempt for those he claims to serve. Proof is California has one rule book for peasants, another for the king.
He feels the need to get their approval. That's how it feels. And he's getting excoriated by the left press as a result. It's actually kind of amusing. We put together a budded soundbite. Take a listen here.
I thought that was one of the most inauthentic things I have seen Gavin Newsom do.
Wow.
I'm terribly
hang themselves there.
No, I'm terribly disappointed. I think you meet energy with energy. And what he did was he showed his pretty white teeth and his cute face and did nothing other than that. And I think
Kelly doesn't halt at failures. She targets his ambitions too. Newsom's blatantly positioning for the White House, jabbing at national issues, posing as Trump's foil, and spinning his crumbling state as a progressive haven. Kelly's demolition is ruthless. She argues if he can't handle California, wealthier than most nations, presidential dreams are a joke. Why elevate a man who can't maintain his own house? She frames him as mirror-obsessed, blind to the wreckage behind. Energy grids failing summers, crime spiking, schools sinking. Yet his focus is perfect lighting for the next interview.
We hear a lot about San Francisco and the homelessness, pooping on the road and all that kind of stuff. And it seemed like all of that was cleaned up when she came to town.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Complete bullshit.
That's complete bullshit.
I know folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true, because it's true.
I got to credit Morning Wire, my pals over the Morning Wire who put that together. Such a good...
Kelly mocks his national media hunger, picturing him as the party guest who never lifts a finger. Her roast also taps California's growing resentment. Residents who bought the state's promise are leaving en masse. Middle-class families, the backbone can't stay. The dream's dead, and Newsom sells the nightmare as a minor hiccup. Kelly strips his excuses, declaring California's not fate's victim, but Newsom's vanity's casualty. Her takedown's brilliance lies beyond California. It's about the leadership pattern he embodies. Politicians prioritizing cameras over citizens, treating posts as springboards, not duties. Newsom's the face of hollow leadership, and Kelly torches that poster. She didn't just shred his record. She incinerated his myth, the bold progressive, the national-ready star, the noble struggle facade. Post-roast, Newsom's no longer the untouchable slickster he imagines, just a failed governor with great hair and no substance.